Hi, so let me tell you about this lemon and ginger cheesecake while I'm grating these ginger nut cookies. These are for the base of what used to be a lemon cheesecake, and a pretty good lemon cheesecake it was as well. But over the years I've developed the recipe and it's now a lemon and ginger cheesecake, which is absolutely divine. And what makes it so special is the base that's made out of these ginger nut cookies. So after I've finished fine grating a whole packet, 250 grams, I'll sieve them, and this is going to give me, it's almost like a flour type of texture, but it makes an absolutely wonderful cheesecake base. You won't see this being left on the plate at a restaurant. You know, sometimes you get those cheesecakes where the base is so hard that you wonder whether it's actually been taken out of its cake tin. Takes a few extra minutes to prepare this base material, but it's well worth it. Actually doing it this way will level up the base on any cheesecake. It just makes it such a better texture. So once that's done, I now have to do a bit of guesswork because I'm not entirely sure. I've only made this recipe to commercial sizes in the past using a lot bigger baking tins. I'm guessing 400 to 500. I'm going to go 400. I do like a nice thick base, but I don't want to overdo it. Add 100 mils of melted butter. Some people insist on using unsalted butter, but then those exact same people will say to add a pinch of salt. I can't really see the logic in that, so it has to be really well mixed. So take some time and do this, and when you're happy that it's all thoroughly mixed, do it all again just to make sure there's absolutely no dry biscuit base left in there, that it's all well saturated through that butter. It's looking pretty good. So now I'm using a 8-inch or 200mm cake tin. And it looks like I've pretty much got the amount right. I could have been greedy and used 500 if I'd wanted to. There's enough room in the tin, but I think that's about the right amount in there for a normal sized base, or a base of a normal thickness. It's going to be well packed down. I'm just using a jar here Actually, another thing that would work really well to do this would be one of those, I think they call them a temper, that you use to compress the coffee beans or the coffee that goes into your coffee machine, compress it into the filter. So that would work well to do this. I'm just using it's actually an old coffee jar. It's got a pretty good edge on it for doing this. You can see it's got this square end on it that's really good for getting into the corners. Square shape. There we go. That's what you should end up with. Now they can go in the fridge for the meantime while I get the filling ready. So I'm going to start by making up half a cup of lemon rind, and that will go into the filling along with half a cup of the ginger nut biscuit crumbs. If you really wanted to make this zingy and citrusy, you could put more than half a cup of lemon rind in. I tend to keep it reasonably toned down, otherwise it just becomes a big fierce competition between the ginger and the lemon. I'm using two 85 gram packets of lemon jelly crystals, so that's 170 grams in total, and I use what would be half the amount of water that the recommended amount would be for this amount of jelly crystals. So 400 mils instead of 800 mils. And these of course come in child-proof packets. There we go. And I'm going to get myself a new kettle soon as well, by the look of it. Make sure those are all dissolved. And now I'm going to use 500 grams of cream cheese. Which is actually two 250 gram containers. Two 250 gram child-proof containers. Again, okay, they're fork proof as well as child proof. There we go. Now, simple case of using a fork or a spoon and adding the jelly crystals a bit at a time and breaking it all down into something about the consistency of a thick milkshake. Takes a few minutes to do that. But eventually I'm going to add the half cup of biscuit base and half a cup of lemon rind. And the rest of the jelly crystals. And I'm going to grab a spoon and just use that so that the base doesn't get upset with the stuff being poured on it. You shouldn't have to spread the filling out, it should just even itself out over the base. Just that half cup of ginger biscuit adds this sort of golden hue to it. It's looks pretty good. So you can see here, I'll zoom in a bit for you, the consistency is about like a thick milkshake. And that can go off into the fridge now for 4 hours or so. And there we go. Look at the colour of that, isn't that wonderful? I'm going to finish this with some more ginger nut biscuit and some more lemon zest. If you enjoyed this content, please click like and subscribe to support this channel. You'll be notified of new content as it drops right here on YouTube. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.